Hey y'all, welcome to my nightly live. It is Thursday night, day 4 of our Cannabis Live Challenge. And tonight I just want to talk to you about 3 ways that can help with chronic head pain. So I'm going to give you guys a second to hop on. Before I get into my 3 ways, I just want to share that I am personally doing a little giveaway this month. Anybody that orders a product, anybody that joins my team, or anybody that shares one of my live videos is entered to win this adorable little cup. I love this cup, and it has a 500 milligram bottle of CBD oil in it, coffee and creamers to try out, and then Disney socks because my team is giving away a Disney trip. So if you're interested in any of that, you can drop me a little message below and I'll tell you about that. And if you share the video, then you'll automatically be entered to win that. So tonight I just want to share with you, thanks to big pharmaceutical companies, we are not allowed to use any medical terms when we're talking about things. So tonight I'm talking about chronic head pain. This is not your like everyday chronic head pain, that comes and goes. This is that type that many people get. I can tell you for me, I started having this head pain when I was about 7 years old, and I literally would get many of them every month. And as an adult, they would put me like basically in a dark room, alone, no noise, lights off. I didn't want anybody near me, nobody to touch me, nothing. I just wanted everyone to leave me alone until I could find a way to get rid of that pain. Through the years, I tried many different things to help me with that, and they would sometimes work a little bit, but it wasn't so great. But so tonight I just wanted to go over 3 tips that you can try, tips that I've tried. I mean, obviously you can try medications that you can get from your doctor prescribed. I tried many of those. Really the only ones that worked for me were the ones when I would have to go to the hospital and get like medication given to me in my IV. Then I could get rid of it. But otherwise, it might lessen it, but at the end of the day, the pain was still there. So one thing that you can do, I put some little notes, so if you see me looking down or away, it's just because I'm checking my notes. So one thing you can do is avoid trigger foods. There's lots of different trigger foods that will actually cause these type of pains in your head. Some of them that are more common are foods that are high in nitrates, such as hot dogs, deli meats, bacon, sausage. Alcohol can trigger them, especially red wine. Thankfully, I'm not a red wine drinker, so that was never an issue for me. Pickled foods and beans even can cause them, and dried fruits. So for me personally, I can tell you I found out one thing that was automatically a trigger for me. When I was in high school, every home game for our football teams, my friends and I, we would go to our local Pizza Hut, and we would have dinner before going to the football game. So every home game, I was getting one of these type of head pains. And my mom was like, okay, it's probably the pepperoni, something in the pepperoni. So we said, okay, no pepperoni on my pizza. We're going to stick to just cheese. I would still get this pain. So then we started eliminating things. And the one thing that I found that's a trigger for me, the only thing that it's definitely a trigger that's known is the sauce that they use. So some kind of preservative or something that's in their sauce actually triggers this kind of head pain for me. So I learned to just not, eat their sauce. If I order pizza from Pizza Hut, I just get light sauce, and that works fine for me, which is great. So, you can just narrow down what foods could trigger them for you and try to avoid those. One thing that you can do is try yoga. There's even fun yoga out there now, like that you can do yoga with goats. You can do hot yoga. There's so many different types of yoga. I'm not the most limber person, if I'm being honest. So I always feel kind of silly if I'm doing yoga with people around. I don't mind doing it at home, or even if my girls, they love to do yoga. So even if they're doing it with me, but I definitely am not big on group yoga because I feel like everybody's staring at me, and that's just probably me. Maybe I should take a little bit of my oil before going to yoga, and I might feel more okay with it, like nobody's looking at me. But yoga is thought to improve anxieties, it releases tension, and also helps with vascular health, which is a big component of these type of headaches. So yoga definitely can be a source of benefit for you if you're dealing with this. So last but not least, the third thing that I have found that has been an amazing treatment for me has been the CBD oil. So we started using this last year, the beginning of May, and I was getting these type of head pains chronically all the time. And if I'm being honest with you now, I have only had one since May. That one that I had was triggered by somebody's perfume who sat next to me in an area that I was not able to leave from. So the perfume continued to be there and I couldn't get away from it. And so that triggered it. So when I came home that night, I immediately took some of the oil, and then I also used a little bit of the relief cream. I rubbed it right on my temples, and within 15 minutes, it was over, gone. That had never happened before for me. I'm one of those people that I'm like, I would go and I take a hot shower until the hot water like runs cold. Then I lay on my bed in the pitch darkness with the ceiling fan on, trying to do that vasodilation and constriction in my head to try to help relieve that pressure. And then I would do that repeatedly. My husband used to laugh because he's like, how many times are you going to do that? Every time the water would get hot again, I would do it again until I was relieved. Or I fell asleep, which was difficult. So whichever one came first, usually it would relieve it enough that I could fall asleep. And then when I would wake up, it would be gone. I'm thankful that mine would go away when I wake up with sleep. But since May, I've had one triggered by perfume. That's it. I went from having multiple a week, at least 5, 6, 7 a month, to one since May. So I don't know about you, but that's a huge win for me. Huge. So if you're one of those people and you suffer with chronic head pain, like I did, and you would like more information, I would love to we have a 60-day money-back guarantee, so to be honest with you, you have nothing to lose. You can try it. If you don't like it, that's okay. You can return it. If you feel like it did nothing for you, you can return it and they will give you your money back even if the bottle's empty. I take it twice a day, morning and night, and I see a huge difference in lots of things, but this one is amazing. So if you'd like information on that, let me know. I hope you guys are having a great Thursday. The weekend is in sight, so have a good evening. Bye, guys.